They said he crawled out of a grave the night the thunder cracked open the sky. Others swore he walked out of the desert dusty, bleeding, half dead, but somehow still breathing. No one knew his name, where he came from, or what kind of demons hunted him. Folks in Dust Creek only remembered the night he first showed up, limping down Main Street like a ghost refusing to fade. His coat was torn, his ribs bruised black and purple, and a bullet hole sat clean in his shoulder as if someone had tried to kill him just hours before. Sheriff Kane was the first to confront him, hand resting on his gun, voice hard as grit. "Turn around, stranger. We don't take kindly to trouble." But the stranger didn't raise his hands or plead. He simply looked at the sheriff with eyes that had seen too much, survived too much, eyes that didn't fear death because death had never managed to catch him. He spoke only 5 words, "I'm not here for trouble." The town didn't believe him. Rumors spread like wildfire. Whispers of gangs hunting him, whispers of deals with the devil, whispers of a curse that made him impossible to kill. But the truth was deeper, darker. He had spent years being hunted by men who wanted him dead. Men who had tried knives, bullets, fire, drowning, even burying him alive. And yet he still walked. Some called it luck, others called it miracle. But he knew the real reason, the one he never dared speak aloud. The one that haunted him every night when he woke screaming. He hadn't been born unkillable. He had been made unkillable. By a past he couldn't outrun, and a sin he could never undo. Dust Creek learned quickly just how dangerous his legend was. The night the Red Viper gang rode into town, everything changed. They weren't after gold or land or cattle. They were after him. Their leader, Viper Sloan, shouted his name across the silent night, finally giving the town the truth they had been craving. "Turn him over, and we'll spare your homes!" His name is Grasoblak. The man we've tried to kill 100 times. Now the town knew the legend was real. Guns aimed, windows closed, hearts racing. But Grayson didn't run, didn't hide, didn't even flinch. He stepped forward, coat billowing in the wind like a shadow. Sheriff Kane grabbed his arm, whispering, "You'll get yourself killed." Grayson only whispered back, "I've been killed before." And then he walked alone into the center of the street. The moon cast a pale glow on the dust. The gang surrounded him, weapons drawn, smiles wicked. Viper Sloan aimed straight at his head. Time to end this demon. He fired. The gunshot echoed like thunder. Grayson fell. The town gasped. And then, slowly, painfully, Grayson stood back up. The bullet had pierced him, blood dripping down his cheek, but his steps didn't falter. The gang froze. Fear crept into their bones. "What are you?" Sloan whispered. Grayson answered, voice hollow, burdened with years of suffering. "A man who shouldn't still be breathing." He charged. He fought with a fury that no mortal man should have. Every blow, every shot, every wound should have killed him. But the stranger simply refused to die. One by one the gang fell, scattered, broken, terrified. And when the dust finally settled, Grayson collapsed to his knees, exhausted, bleeding, barely conscious. Sheriff Kane rushed to him, shouting for help. Grayson tried to stand, but the world blurred, spinning into darkness. His final words before he passed out echoed through the silent street. Words that hinted at a truth no one wanted to believe. "They'll keep coming until the curse is broken." Dust Creek realized something chilling. The man no one could kill was living on borrowed time. Grayson awoke in a small wooden room, lying on a cot that smelled of sage and old whiskey. His wounds were wrapped tight, but he could still feel every bullet, every bruise, every crack in his bones that stubbornly refused to let him die. A soft light flickered from a lantern, and beside him sat Maya, Dust Creek's healer, watching the man who fate simply wouldn't take. "You should be dead," she whispered. "You took 6 bullets last night." Grayson responded with a painful sigh. "I've taken more." Maya wanted answers, like everyone else. But Grayson had run from his past for so long that speaking it aloud felt like reopening an old wound that had never healed. Still, something in Maya's eyes, fear, kindness, determination, pushed him to finally reveal the truth. Years ago, Grayson had been part of a notorious outlaw band, the Blackthorn Riders. They weren't thieves. They were hunters, paid killers. And he was their deadliest weapon. But everything changed the night they raided a quiet village whose only crime was refusing to pay protection money. The Riders set fire to homes, dragged families through the dirt, and slaughtered anyone who fought back. Grayson had followed orders, killed without hesitation. But when he stormed into a small hut, he found a woman clutching a child, praying through tears. Something inside him broke. For the first time he hesitated. For the first time he felt human. The Riders mocked him, beat him, nearly killed him for his weakness. He escaped that night, vowing never to take another innocent life. But the village had its own secret, a shaman ancient and powerful, who cursed Grayson with a fate worse than death. You shall not die until you have repaid every soul you wronged. From that day on, Grayson found himself unable to perish. He had been stabbed, shot, poisoned, crushed beneath collapsing buildings, burned alive. Yet every time he rose again. Not unscarred, not unharmed, but alive. His curse forced him to survive, no matter how much pain he endured. Maya listened to his story with trembling hands. So all of this, the constant attacks, the gangs hunting you. Grayson nodded weakly. The Blackthorn Riders had spent years trying to reclaim him, or silence him permanently. They believed his curse made him unstoppable, a weapon they desperately wanted back. And now they were coming to Dust Creek. That very night, the ground rumbled under the thunder of 100 horses. The riders had arrived. Sheriff Kane ordered the townsfolk to hide, but Grayson refused to let innocent people suffer for his past sins. He walked into the open streets, body barely healed, but heart steadier than ever before. The riders surrounded him, led by their new ruthless leader, Skull Mark Ramsey. Ramsey sneered. You can't die, Grayson. But you can bleed. And tonight will make you bleed forever. The battle was brutal. Grayson fought like a man possessed, not because he craved victory, but because he sought redemption. Every punch, every slash of a knife, every bullet that tore through flesh brought him closer to the curse's end. The town watched in stunned terror as Grayson stood again and again, refusing to fall. The riders broke one by one, unable to comprehend the monster they had created. Finally, Grayson faced Ramsey, both men trembling, both barely capable of standing. Ramsey swung first. Grayson didn't dodge. He caught the blade, letting it slice through his palm. He stepped forward, eyes burning with the weight of every soul he had ever wronged. I won't run anymore, he said. Not from you, not from myself. He struck Ramsey down, not with vengeance, but with finality. And as the last rider fell, a strange warmth surged through Grayson's chest. Not pain, not fear, something releasing. His wounds finally began to close. Not the cursed, painful healing he was used to, but a calm, gentle warmth. The curse had lifted. Maya rushed to him, helping him stand as the sun began to rise. You did it, she whispered. You're free. Grayson looked out at the town he had protected, the people he had saved, and the long, bloody path behind him. For the first time in years he felt mortal, vulnerable, human, and he welcomed it. Dust Creek would forever remember him, not as a monster, not as a cursed man, but as a legend. The man no one could kill who finally earned the right to live.